and it's the fact that you don't need to be a marine biologist or have a PhD to work in this field or in this industry. Can you tell a little bit, like, for anyone who's listening, who's like, well, what do I need to have in order to be able to work on this if I'm passionate about it?
Well, you just hit the number one, which is a passion, right? Like that is the key thing. To me, authentic leadership is everything, and people who actually have that passion are the ones who are going to drive these solutions forward, first and foremost. Secondly, I would say it's resourcefulness. The whole point of what we're doing is essentially making resources available for people, right? And and saying, for example, in our seaweed startup, we have someone with a biomedical engineering background, right? But and she at the same time already has past startup experience, so she knows what it takes to at least execute a concept, right? And that's really it. It's understanding that translatable skills still apply to the ocean space. Yes, of course we need someone with the technical expertise, but you don't have to be the technical expert, right? The technical
Right.
experts can do the technical expert work, but they may not be CEO material. There's a lot of PhDs I know that I would definitely not want to pitch to me, or I've been pitched by PhDs, and much love to the one who may know who I'm talking about him, but chemistry goes way over my head. So it's it's really demystifying this, because people just immediately assume silos, and it's such a injustice when people have passions and then immediately rule it out for really a BS reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been at conferences where leading aquaculture companies are saying we need engineers. They're not saying we need ocean engineers. They're saying we need engineers, right? Like, crazy that
Yep.
it's
Yep.
so simple, yet people again overcomplicate it and have some grandiose expectation that just because it isn't exactly what they went to school for, that they can't do it. And it's just busting down these barriers, which also have been reinforced by academia. So it's not entirely on the individual. I mean, I see so much siloed thinking going on. And Rasmus actually just spoke with the vice provost of innovation at University of Miami, who literally reinforced my jadedness about the Rosenstiel School not having enough innovation and entrepreneurship programming, and talking about hopefully helping them out. But it's just been this disconnect of, I mean, in Rosenstiel's case, like, we're literally on our own island away from the business school and all of their resources. So, but that's really a metaphor for how, in general, the space is. And there are very few people bridging innovation and entrepreneurship and the oceans who are thinking beyond just going into public sector and academia, and actually realizing the opportunity to do the meaningful work. And on the engineering side, real quick, as a mechanical engineer, all of my friends wanted to go work at SpaceX or for defense companies, and no one thinks about working for our own planet's betterment, right? It's all of these different social constructs and all the funding barriers I talked about of defense and fossil fuels owning the space. That's really just combined to actually create this almost cultural void for
Yeah.
seeing opportunity in this space.
You're right, and I was literally going to say that, and you just put it perfectly.
Thank you.
That is exactly what it is. It's because there aren't enough companies in the space that people can point to and say, "I want to do that." It's just because it doesn't exist, or it hasn't existed to the same degree that these other things do. And yeah, it's almost like a marketing problem, right? Like, you have to, like, you talked about making it sexy earlier. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. So,
And really, the cool thing is with Miami Tech and all the momentum that we've gotten to be a part of, we're marketing it, right?
yeah.
Like, BlueTech is a term in Miami Tech because, I mean, not gonna like overstep, but like, we'll take the majority of the credit on making
And
it
you
a
do, and
thing.
you deserve it, and you deserve